don't want to get left on the shelf, here's a tip from Women's Federation of China. Don't be too educated because education does not make you attractive. We have 3 single women here today. We have Levine, Jen and Cheryl to share their opinions. So, what do you think? Would you pick education over love?
Of course, I'll take education because it's about independence as well. I mean, what if in case, not that any relationship doesn't work out, but if in case something happens to your partner and you really got to be independent. So with education, I think you don't have to worry much about jobs or a livelihood. But if you have to depend on this guy for a livelihood, then, well, that's it.
Yes, we
don't
really have a choice because we started off like about 6 or 7. We went to school right away, so it's automatic. Like education came before love, and we just start with that. Yep. And towards the end of the day, I mean, women or any human being, we have to be knowledgeable. We might not need to have a very high, educational level, but we need to be knowledgeable, and we need to be like, I would say, smart. Yeah, not necessarily book smart, but we need to be intelligent so that we can make good choices in love later on in life.
I guess education, I mean, most Singaporeans are educated anyway. And education is
quite
just
highly educated in general, right? It's like definitely like a poly or uni nowadays. It's nothing hardly beyond, it's hardly below that. So,
I mean, it will help if he's higher qualified than you in terms of education, but end of the day, there are also people who come out from school or hard knocks who are really street smart. They set up their own business and then they become really successful. So you don't like be like this big boss is after you and then you don't have a uni cert, sorry, you're out. I mean, I don't usually I don't define them by their education. It's really again how the chemistry between us will work.
Okay, there was an article in the Women's Federation that said that the more educated you are, the older you are, and that makes you less attractive. So, it lowers your worth.
Okay,
so what do you think?
That is some semblance of truth. Because if let's say you pursue like maybe up to degree or like masters, whatever and so on, you definitely be past a certain age is definite. Because we are not like geniuses. We can't do speed crash course and then clear by 21 or something. So that's impossible. But if you pursue like higher education, that is something that you got to contend with. You got to live with it. So
I don't think it's about the more you study, the older you get, the harder it is. Again, it depends. It just goes back to what you want in life. If you want to chase your education first and then find love later, it just...
But I think education is important for like this.
It will help.
It
will help.
No, if you're lucky, you might be able to pursue both love and education together. You might be having a baby or pregnant in class and still be studying. Yeah, who says it's not possible?
Okay, so do you think education actually increases your attractiveness instead?
I guess it depends, because maybe for guys who are not highly educated, they may feel threatened. But then for those who are maybe doing well or highly educated, I think they will want a partner that's also quite equivalent to them. So I guess it's all relevant and depends on situation. So yeah.
As a supply and demand, it depends on what the market actually demands. Because maybe this wave of new Singaporeans, whom most of the guys will say after NS will end up in poly or they'll end up with an university education, they might prefer somebody who's, I wouldn't say on the same par, but maybe not too below them.
Yeah, maybe on par with maybe thinking maturity or educational qualifications, because maybe at least you're quite similar maybe in terms of thinking wise and all that, or towards career and then goals in life I guess.
I guess education leads to career, so in a way the ones who are higher educated will tend to be more successful in their careers, and so because of that it might make the woman more attractive. She's more dynamic, she excels in her career, but at the same time a guy might get intimidated if she's too dynamic for him. He might feel inferior, oh my gosh, she's some big CEO and I'm a lowly manager. But then again, the woman doesn't mind, then it's really okay.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, how qualified are you, all of you? So Levine?
University educated. So.
Okay.
I have a double English degree.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, I got my honours, so...
Okay, so all university graduates. So would you date someone who is less qualified than you?
I have.
So, I mean, it's the main thing is also about the maturity of the person. I think it's not, and also like what she's brought up is doesn't mean you need qualifications to excel in life. So it's all relevant as well.
If the guy actually knows more about the world or knows more knowledgeable than I am, he might be an O-levels holder or maybe a diploma holder. But why not? If the feeling is right, then the paper is just crap. Honestly.
These educated women can hold their own, but will their career get in the way of them finding love? Find out in our next segment.